Hello, how are you? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, the world's #1 most respected quit drinking online solution. And you don't need to take my word for that. Go and check the reviews at Trustpilot or Proven Expert, anywhere, in fact. But enough of that showboating. You don't need that from me. Today, we're talking about not quitting drinking, but rather staying sober. And as we all know, the latter is much harder to do. Quitting drinking is easy. Why? I've done it 1,000 times, as the saying goes. So the reason I want to talk about this today is I had an email from someone who's actually doing my online course at the moment. She's doing fantastic. She's 15 days in, loving the sober life, but she's having a moment of panic. She's thinking, but what if I get that urge to drink in the future? How will I deal with that? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Discover the world's most successful and respected online quit drinking program today.
Craig Beck helps you understand what alcohol does to you, how it works.
Are you finally ready to take action? Your sober journey begins 11 a.m. Sunday. Reserve your space at my next free quit drinking webinar. Okay, so let's take a look at this email from H. And she says, "Hi, Craig. First, I want to say thank you for the fantastic course you're doing. Everything you said is so much me, except for the story with the time lock safe. I had not such a great idea. I listen and watch so many videos on YouTube from you nearly every day, and it's good, even when it's the same after the same sometimes." That's such a polite way of saying you're boring, Craig. Anyway, look, what I get so far is a little subconscious mind. What is coming up when I see alcohol, advertising about it, etc. It is poison, the evil clown, the first drink. I really see the effer sitting on top of the entrance to a bottle shop with a bottle of poison in his hand and calling to me, "H, have your first drink now." I tried uncountable times to stop, and it never goes that well. The biggest problem that I see is the fact that you forget how terrible it was. The evil clown and you just discussing the big fun you had in the past with friends and drink. Hey, just have one. I think what you said about the video before you enter this course is important. Before you decide to follow the clown, remember how bad it was. I hope it will go less and less in the future because of life changes. I did AA as well, but for me it was horrible. Sitting in front of unknown people like a piece of shit, and starting with, "I am an alcoholic." On top of it, I don't believe in God, which makes it even more difficult to go on this journey. Anyway, I just want to say hi and give you some feedback, and a big thank you again for the course. I am 100% in. Talk soon, H. All right. Great email. Great email. And I can tell you, you have one of those overactive minds that's always thinking about every possible outcome. And I recognize and empathize with that, H, because I've got the same mind. And it's a blessing and it's a curse. So you're absolutely right in what you're saying. And what that kind of problem that you're wondering if it's going to happen will happen. The further you get away from being a problem drinker, the less pain you will feel attached to it, the less you will remember the depths of the misery that alcohol took you to. It's just human nature. We look back with rose-tinted glasses generally. We tend to dismiss the horrible times and we look back at the good times. That's why, there's that saying that says, if you want to be sad, live in the past. If you want to be worried, live in the future. If you want to be happy, live in the present. That's, a famous saying. And the reason why they say that, looking to the back makes you feel sad is because we look back with rose-tinted glasses and we look back and we go, oh, everything was better then. I seemed to be happier. I was slimmer. I was younger. I was having more fun. I had less pressure. I had less stress. Oh, those were the good old days. That's what we do. We don't look back remembering all the troubles we had and all the things lacking in our life at that point. We just remember the good times. So when you quit drinking, there is a real danger. And I can tell you, H, that the trip point seems to be very strongly weighted around the 1 year point. 10 months, 11 months, 12 months, 13, 14, that sort of period. There seems to be something about a 1 year reset where people start to think, well, I've been sober a whole year and it wasn't really that difficult. So maybe I didn't even have a problem in the first place. And they think back and they go, actually, I did have some really good times when I was drinking. And maybe I was just making a fuss over nothing. Maybe I could just have one drink. And so begins a torturous 3-month, 4-month journey back down the rabbit hole and out again. Because that's generally, in my experience, what it takes. You go through all that nonsense again of thinking, well, maybe I can control it this time. So you spend a couple of weeks doing that. Then you realize you can't. So then you try and cut back and you can't. And then you try and stop and you're shocked because you can't. And so on and so on. And it takes about 3-4 months for you to slap yourself out of that relapse. That's why I emphasize that it just isn't worth it. When that clown says in your ear, come on, it's just one drink. It's not just one drink. For a start, it's 15 days of physical misery. You've woken the clown. He's going to kick you hard for 15 days. 2, it's the guilt and the regret you're going to feel for days and weeks afterwards. 3, it's months of torturing yourself back out of the rabbit hole. It's not just one drink. It's 3 months of misery. Look at it like that. So how do you stay sober? And I've said this many times, and I'm sure you've heard it because, like you say, I do repeat things. And the reason I repeat things is because there are some core principles to this that don't change. And there's no benefit to you in me being really creative and coming up with new things, because what for? For entertainment value? I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to help people stop drinking. And so if I have to repeatedly beat you about the head with the truth at the risk of boring you a little bit, that's what I'm going to do, because repetition is the mother of learning. So the secret to staying sober is not about quitting drinking. Quitting drinking is something you do once. For me, it happened one day. I can't even remember when, but 12 years ago. One day, I moved from being a problem drinker to being someone who'd quit drinking. That was 12 years ago. It's an event in the past. Can't even remember it. And that's something that doesn't stay with me every day. I don't go around thinking, oh, it's 12 years and 300 days, 12 years and 301 days. It's not a part of my life anymore. It's gone. So that means I'm exposed to temptation in that mindset, because alcohol's everywhere. And I'm always at things where people are saying, oh, can't you just have one? And because I'm looking back with my rose-tinted glasses on, there's a very good chance I'm going to say, yeah, I suppose I could just have one. What you have to do is fall in love with being sober, fall in love with sobriety, so that it's something that you do every day of your life and you will continue to do for the rest of your life. And how do you do that? Well, it's a constant attitude of gratitude about sobriety. It's a constant appreciation of your life sober. One of the things I do is every morning I sit at my desk with a cup of coffee, and I just sit. It's like 5 a.m. when I get up. So there's no sound. I sit quietly and I breathe deeply and I just look around. I think about my life. I think how good it is. I think about all the things I enjoy. I think about all the things that I'm grateful for. And I know that they're all there because I stopped putting attractively packaged poison in my body so long ago. So every day I'm constantly reminding myself, life is good, and it is good because you don't drink, Craig. And that's a constant process. Being a sober person is a bit like being a deeply committed vegan. People who are deeply committed vegans are not torturing themselves to remain vegan. They are not walking around going, oh, I wish I could eat bacon. Oh, I wish I could eat meat. The thought of eating meat repulses them. They find it disgusting. They love being a vegan. That's why they talk about it so much. So it's not a chore to them. It's not an annoyance to them to think about being a vegan every day. They love it. It's who they are. If you chop them in half, it would say vegan in the middle, in tofu. They love it. And that's how you have to be about being sober. It needs to be a badge you wear as a badge of honor. I'm proud of being sober. I love it. It's who I am. If you chop you in half, it says sober in the middle. Yeah. So that's the difference, H. It's not about quitting drinking. It's about falling in love with sobriety. I hope that helps. Keep that in mind. Thank you very much for the email. Any other questions, get back in touch with me. If you're watching this video and you're worried about your drinking, do yourself the biggest favor of your lifetime. Book your place on my free Quit Drinking Masterclass on Sunday. You have 2 time options, 9 a.m., 11 a.m. Turn up. Don't be one of those people that books a space and then goes, yeah, but I want to drink later today. Turn up, and it will make a profound difference to your life. I promise you that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.